a lot of the bands out on this scene, you realize like, oh, they grew up coming to Warped Tour. It's something that they looked forward to. What's it like being a pop artist coming out onto Warped Tour, and how's the response been for you?
At first, it was like super intimidating because I'm like, I'm gonna get eaten alive by these kids. They're not gonna fuck with me at all. And because like I'm different. I'm a pop chick. I love dance music. I love, soulful stuff. I'm just a lover of pop. And they actually are very welcoming to me, and the crowds have been insane. So I'm like really surprised, which is kind of cool. So, but yeah, I'm definitely different.
And throughout the history,
that's for sure.
But it's good to bring different in, because throughout the history of Warped, like back in the 90s, Eminem was here, and then like the mid-2000s, like Katy Perry was here. But tracing back further to your musical roots, you're from the New York area.
Yes.
So take me back to how you actually got involved with doing music.
I don't know. Everybody always asks me like, what was the turning point, or where did it start, or who was the person? And there's no actual like pinpoint of like when it happened, or like just like that moment. I think it was just, music has always been in my blood since I was 4 years old, and I'd write tons of songs, and I'd submit songs to like the Grammy Foundation for their contests, and I just collaborated with anybody that I could possibly find. And I was never that kid that went to prom or like graduation. I was always like that loner, and I just like sit in the studio for hours.
What does a 4-year-old musically do?
I was singing Little Mermaid.
Hey, solid soundtrack to be singing
cool.
off.
Super fresh.
Hey, that still holds up to this day, those Disney songs.
Honestly, like it does. And one of the band members on our bus sings it every day. It's kind of crazy.
Brings you back to the childhood days.
30-year-old man singing Little Mermaid.
Nice. You can't go wrong with that.
World.
That voice, by the way, killer voice. Jeez.
Think so?
Oh, absolutely. So it sounds like for a bit you were doing the writing side of stuff. Had you always wanted to be an artist yourself, or did you ever just want to do behind the scenes writing stuff, or that's just how it had to be?
I was always like super impatient and never wanted to be a writer. I hated writing. I just wanted to be a pop star and like be on stage because I love performing. And I had gone to BMI when I was like 14, and I met this lady, Samantha Cox, who at the time was working with a girl called Lady Gaga and Kesha.
What were they called? Lady
Gaga and Kesha? No, it was funny because at the time they weren't like really, they hadn't popped off yet. And she's like, I'm working these two girls. You gotta start writing. You gotta write your own stuff. You gotta like, take over your career and say what you want to say. And I was like, no, I just want to fucking perform. And she took me into these classes, like these Nashville classes with these like 40-year-old men.
So
and
you went
women.
down to Tennessee for this?
No, they actually brought all these people to us in New York City,
Oh,
which is sick.
right on.
I know, it's weird, but it was like a Nashville writing class. It was like a country class. And I was like the only like 14, 15-year-old writing these songs with these 40-year-olds. And I sucked, and like I kind of forced myself to songwrite. And I was always an artist, but I guess that my songwriting is what kind of is like growing to the top faster and has opened more doors for me. So like I'm grateful for that,
And at what point of writing did you realize, oh, I actually might know what I'm doing here? Because I mean, you've obviously had some big breakthrough moments
I don't think I ever know. I don't even think I really know what I'm doing ever. I think it's just like luck,
I gotta ask you about Monster though,
Yeah.
because that was obviously such a pivotal point in your career, and based off what you've said up on stage a few times, it seems like stuff wasn't going perfect up into the point when Monster came out, and then that was the moment that kind of helped save you.
Definitely, like not everything was kind of in the shithole because I was living in my dad's basement. He was like, you can't do this. He's like, you either have to go to school or you have to get a job. Like, I'm not gonna have you in my house like this. And I was super depressed, and I didn't know like where I belonged. And I just started writing songs, and we wrote this song called Monster under my bed, and it just became this huge record. It was so unexpected, To this day, I'm like, shit, did I really write that song? Like, I just like every song that I do that's like does well now, I'm like, cool, I wonder if I could do it again, because I never like mean to like write.
Is that ever intimidating? Like,
No,
damn, can I top that?
Because I've worked with so many big producers and like writers, and they all have like a formula. I don't have a formula. Like, I just go in and write what I feel with my friends, and we're hanging out and we're having a good time. So like to me, it's just I don't know. I don't have that. So it's weird when the Monster or whatever it may be, any record that comes out, to me it's like, shit, how did I do that? Like, I don't even know. Like, it just comes from like some weird place. I don't know.
So then your writing process, because you just dropped your debut EP, I Don't Want to Grow Up.
Yeah.
And what's the writing process like that? So you don't just sit in the studio and write, it's just more something that comes naturally on the spot when you're hanging out?
I think the easiest way for me to write is when I am like actually going through something and I have to write the lyrics prior, because melodies come a little bit easier to me, but lyrics are a little tougher for me, especially like when I'm in the situation, or like Monster Under My Bed was like me going on the internet and I found a super cool quote on Tumblr that like inspired me because I was going through a dark time, and I would look up quotes, and I took that quote and put it into my laptop and brought it over to the studio and was like, yo, I found this cool quote, could we like do something with it? So I like to write a lot of the lyrics prior, and then when I go to the studio, the song will kind of be structured somewhat, and then we'll like write the melodies on the spot in the booth, and then just fucking go from there.
So do the melodies just come in your head? Like all of a sudden you're just kind of like...
It's like so easy for me. Melodies is like the easiest thing for me. It's weird.
But it's the lyrics that you got to fill it in with.
Yeah, the lyrics are tougher because like I want to make them real, and sometimes it's really hard to like get into that and tap into that because you're like, it makes you feel awkward and like you got to open yourself up.
Another big thing you got going on right now is you got a Nicki Minaj song.
Yeah.
That you're being featured on. Is it David Guetta?
It's David Guetta with Nicki Minaj. It was like originally me and David and this guy Sean Douglas in the studio, and he was like, I have this great song, and this is a song that was like kind of already there was an idea, but there was no hook that he like loved, and he was like, can you write to this? And I was like, sure. You like my friend Jackson, by the way? And
spot on.
Yeah, so
spot on accent.
This guy Sean Douglas sat at a piano and we're like, let's just fucking write something as a like we didn't take it serious at all. As like I was like fucking joking, and it was just a joke. Like we didn't even take it seriously, and it became this huge song.
So when you hear that on the radio, it seems like a lot of people might not know that's Bebe Rexha singing that chorus. And
I didn't have the credit because they didn't give me the credit, but now they
you do have it now though, yes.
Yeah, I do.
So what's that like when you wrote a song, your voice is on the actual recording, yes?
Yeah. Yes.
And then that's got to be frustrating as hell when it's like...
Yeah, it is, because people are like, wow, Nicki Minaj sounds so different here. I'm like, that is not fucking Nicki Minaj, that's me. But you know what? It's a blessing, because now like I'm going to, like I always said, I was like, I want to go to the Teen Choice Awards this year, and they just invited me, which is cool.
Congratulations.
And then like I did the iHeartRadio thing with them, and I've just created relationships with them, and I think everything happens for a reason. You know, you got to fucking keep going at it, be grateful. 2 years ago, I was not doing any of this. I was sitting in Staten Island, broke as fuck, writing The Monster and just trying to have anybody pick up my phone call. So the fact that I'm here right now at Warped Tour and have a song on the radio that's doing well and writing with all these amazing people and about to go on tour with an incredible artist is just like, it's just a blessing, man. I'm so happy.
It's all working out, and it seems like it's about time because you've been working hard for it.
Yes,
it's
only been 10 years.
It's only been 10 years, so it's got to be pretty gratifying and just like about time that people finally start.
It's crazy to me when I perform here and I see all the fans every day. It's like, it blows my mind.
And the thing about Warped Tour, it's a much more personal setting, I think, than if you're doing like a stadium tour or something like that, because you can have like meet and greets at your tent where kids run up in that. So is that different? Is this different in that sense than tours that you've ever done before?
Yeah, because like I've opened up for like a lot of other cool artists like Bruno and Usher, and it's cool, but there's like 20,000 fans, so you there's when you're looking in the audience, you don't see each, you try to look at their faces, but there's so many lights in your face, in your eyes, that it's hard to even see their faces. So when you do Warped Tour, and you could have a crowd of 150 to 700 kids to who knows, like New York City for me was huge.
I was gonna bring that up because I saw you posted about that, and you said like it brought you to tears. The New York show.
I was crying. My dad was crying, and the cool thing about Warped is that like I went to my merch tent and I met every single one of those fans, and it took 2.5 hours to go through the merch line, and like I signed everything, signed boobs, signed shoes, but I met my fans, and they're fucking awesome, and you create like a relationship with them. This Warped Tour is just unfucking real. It's just incredible.
And it sounds like after here you have a lot of cool stuff planned too. You've got big tours.
Nick Jonas. I'm opening for Nick Jonas. He asked me personally, which is cool, and like a lot of times labels or like managers will get involved, and this is just like another artist to artist being like, I really fuck with you, like could you come on my tour? And I was like,
it's gotta be pretty honoring
like,
to know.
Cool. I was like, that's fucking fresh, because I actually watched him do his showcase before his songs came out on the radio and stuff, like his current album, and he is just so talented, plays instruments like a motherfucker, is an incredible singer, and I'm just so excited to work with him. And I think I have his next single, which is kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a fly just
I know.
That's really gross. But that's great. So it sounds like you've got some exciting stuff planned after this exciting tour. But for the next few days, I guess, enjoy yourself out here.
Thank you so
much. Because this
much.
tour's almost done. It's been going for a month and a half or so.
I don't want it to end. Take me on more.
But luckily, you got cool stuff planned right after. It's not just ending. It's just going to keep getting better and better, it sounds like. So good luck. Thank you so much for chatting, Bebe. And by the way, if you don't notice, I have a massive collection of bracelets, which I gave one of them to Bebe.
Yeah.
Cute little turtles.
It's my gift.
I ran into you in the elevator the other day, and I assumed you would have taken it off, and it was right there.
I keep it on forever.
Forever. Once again, Bebe Rexha. Be sure to catch her, if not at Warped Tour, Nick Jonas tour.
Yeah.
Doing some killer stuff. Check out her latest debut EP, I Don't Want to Grow Up. And I'm sure we can expect a full length at some point.
Yeah, so I'm finishing that up right when I finish Warped Tour before Nick Jonas. So I'm going to do like a 2-week killer thing. So.
Working with some exciting people on that, I'm sure.
Yes. So.
Cool. Well, congrats. I'm so happy it's all going good for you. One more hug. I'm just so happy it's going great for you. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Nick Major, APTV correspondent with Bebe Rexha, and we're out.
Woo! Thank you.
I can't stop drinking about you. Without you up